feeling grounded through all four corners of our feet. We're going to start to gently move, working our way from the top of our head down to our toes. We start by rolling through our neck, taking an ear towards one shoulder, and then around to the other. We can keep it low, nose down towards the floor, or depending on your neck and how you feel, you might take it all the way up, nose towards the ceiling, and then back around. Coming back to center, chin up, parallel towards the floor. And we're going to look over our right shoulder, stretch it gently to the side, back to center, over the other way. Couple more times, looking side to side, moving through the neck. Bringing it back to center with our next breath. We're going to roll our shoulders up and back. Really squeeze the shoulder blades together as we roll them back. One more backwards. And then we're going to roll them forward. Really reach them up by our ears and forward, moving through our shoulders. Bring it back to center. And we'll find one at a time. Shoulder up by our ear, back towards the wall behind us, or whatever is behind us this morning, all in different spaces and places. Bring it shoulder up towards our ear and then forward, really exaggerate the movement. Stretch it out a little early in the morning. Bring it back to center, other shoulder, bring the shoulder up, back towards the chair behind us and down. Exaggerated movement. Find the other side. Roll it up towards our ear, forward, down, and back. Bringing it down, shoulders sliding into their pockets towards our hips, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to pick up our wrists, our hands, and roll at our wrists one way. And then roll on the other. Squeeze our fists tight and then release our hands out wide. Stretch through the fingers a moment here. Once more, bring it out. And then we're bringing our hands back to our knees. We're going to find a little movement through our spine. So we're going to find some seated cat-cows. We're finding our cat first. Our cow first. We're pressing our chest forward, looking up towards the ceiling and bringing it back. Really scoop in, send our belly button towards the chair behind us, separate our shoulder blades and bring it back. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see my back a little better. You can continue with your cat-cows here. So we're really arching our back forward, chest open. And then bringing it back to our cat, arching through our back, really separate our shoulder blades, tuck our chin towards our chest. Couple more times here. Moving the spine around. Bringing it back to center. We're going to find a gentle twist. So we're taking our left hand over our right knee. If we have the chair, we can sit our hand on the chair seat or maybe on an armrest beside us, depending on what kind of chair we're in. We can look to the side or look all the way back over our shoulder. Depends on how your neck is feeling this morning. Bring it gently back to center. And find the other side. Bring our right hand over towards our left knee. Gently start to open the chest to the side. We can look to the side or look back over our shoulder behind us. Back to center. We're going to find some side spine movement through our side body. We inhale our left arm up, reach it tall, lengthen to begin. We could stay here, or we can come over to the side, stretch through the side body. Gaze might be low to the floor or up past our arm towards the ceiling. Up to center, exhale, bring the left arm down. Inhale, the right arm reaches tall. We could stay tall, or we can arch over to the side, stretch the side body, gaze towards the ceiling, or keep it low. Bring it up to center. Exhale, the hand down, getting a little movement through our legs now. We're gonna pick one knee up. We can grab underneath the thigh or in front of the knee. And we're gonna roll at our ankle one way and then roll the other. Might find a couple pops or cracks. Listen to that synovial fluid moving around in our joints. Exhale, this leg down. Other side. Once again, it could be underneath the thigh, it could be pretty low, or you could pull it in a little closer. Depends on your body this morning. Roll at the ankle one way, and roll the other. Bring it back down to center. Couple gentle moving stretches here. Wrap our hand in front or behind the knee. Pull the knee in towards our chest, lower it down. In towards our chest and lower. So we're not holding the stretch long, but we might be starting to feel it in our glutes, in the back of our legs a little bit. Engage lightly through the core, keep the chest up tall. One more, bring it back down. Wiggle our toes and our fingers a bit. I'm going to show you a couple of supported chair yoga moves here. So we're going to find our seated supported lunge first. So turning gently towards the side of the chair so that your right leg, your right thigh is supported. You can move closer to the edge as well. And then we're going to send our right leg behind us on our toes and press the left heel behind us. Our hips and shoulders are both square to the side here. Our hands might be on our hips, or we can lift them up. If you're feeling a little extra this morning, you might take that support of the chair away, lifting a little bit out of the chair, or you can keep it supported the whole time. Either way, we're active through the back legs, sending the heel behind us, lifting tall through our fingertips. Find a few more deep breaths here. Notice what's going on in our bodies, especially if we're supported with the chair. We might feel a little stretch through our hip flexors, so the front side of our left hip right here. Deep breath. Bringing the hands down, bringing our body back to center. Support, hands on the chair seat if we need it. Roll the shoulders, settle in, find the other side. So we're gonna turn to the other side, keeping the support underneath our left thigh this time. Plant the left foot, send the right foot behind us so that our toes are tucked, and we press through the heel behind us, lengthening through our right leg, straightening the knee out a little bit and feeling that stretch through the hip flexor. We can keep our hands low. We could lift them high. We can keep the support chair underneath our thigh, or we can press into our left foot and lift off of the chair, keeping it there for a little balance help, maybe a little support if we need it. We can sink back down in the chair, finding what feels good for our bodies. Breathing deep. So we bring the hands back down, support hand on our chair if we need to, bring it, slide it back to center. Find our center. So this is would be our chair mountain in a chair yoga class here. We're feeling grounded through all four corners of our feet. Hands might be on our lap or on the seat of the chair beside us, or depending if we're a little further forward and we have room, our fingertips might reach past the chair seat towards the floor. Take a deep breath, engaging through the core. Exhale, we're going to find a supported chair warrior two. So we're similar movement, but we're keeping our hips and shoulders square towards the front of the chair. We're gonna take our right knee out wide, turn our toes to the side, and we're sending our left leg out to the side, but the toes are pointed straight forward. Once again, the weight and our support is in the chair underneath our right glute and a little bit of our right thigh here. Check in with our right knee. We want it stacked over our ankle, not way out past our toes. We can keep it hands low. We could bring hands to heart center here, open chest, or we can send the hands to the opposite ends of the room. Once again, we can stay supported in the chair the whole time. We can press through our right heel, lift the support away out of the chair. Either way, whatever suits our bodies this morning. Pressing strong into that left foot. All 10 toes into the floor. Deep breath. One more deep inhale. Exhale, we release. Bring the hands down for support on the chair seat behind us. Bring our legs back to center, step it in, find our seated mountain here. Hands reaching to the floor beside us. Our hands might be on our thighs. Engage the core as we deeply breathe. Exhale, we're gonna find our seated supported warrior two on the other side. We open our left knee up to the side, toes pointed to the side of the room. Our right leg extends out long, hands on the chair behind us for a little support if we like. Wiggle around a little if we need to. Get our support chair underneath our left thigh, our left glute. Our right toes are pointed straight forward again. There you go, you can see my toes now. And our left knee is stacked over our ankle, not way out past our toes. Hips and shoulders are still square front towards our screen. Hands can rest low, heart center. We could extend them out. We're feeling grounded through all four corners of both feet, and we could stay in our chair and support. Or we can press out of the chair, press into that left heel, lift up. Find what suits us best. Take a couple more deep breaths. Exhale, we release, bring it back to center. Hands on the seat behind us for help as we bring our left leg in and our right. Deep breath here, find our seated mountain, reach the fingertips actively towards the floor. And then as we exhale, we're gonna find a seated forward fold. So I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see my legs a little better. You can stay facing forward. And we're gonna reach our right leg out first. We can keep the right knee bent in, especially if we have tighter hamstrings. We'll get to both legs at the same time in another stretch here. Our hands on our thighs for a little support. We exhale the center of our chest over towards our right knee. Our hands might travel back to our hips, checking that we're hinging at our hips, lengthening through our spine here. Only going as low as feels best in our body. Our toes are pulling back up towards our nose. Feeling the stretch along the back of our hamstring, our back of our right thigh here. Gently, we pull it back up. Crown of the head towards the ceiling. Pull the right leg in, and our left leg extends out. So we're grounded through our right leg, giving us support. Our left toes are pulling back up towards our nose or towards the ceiling. Hands supporting us on our thighs. We exhale our chest over towards our left knee. Hands might stay on our thighs. They might come to check on our hips. We're hinging at our hips, keeping a long spine, trying not to round here. Inhale, we pull back up, reach the crown of the head towards the ceiling, both legs in, take a breath, take a break. You can keep your legs bent and fold over bent legs, or for the full hamstring stretch with both legs out, our seated forward fold, toes pulling back up, hinge at our hips, reach forward. Once again, being careful if we're in a rolling chair, or if our chair starts to slide, adjust as needed. Take what suits us and leave the rest. Breathe into the stretch. If we're folding over bent legs, we might be feeling the stretch a little more in our back. One more deep breath. Inhale, pull it back up. Reach the feet back underneath us. Give ourselves that stable base again. Hands reaching to the floor beside us as we find our seated mountain. Deep, even breath. We're going to stretch out a little through our arms. Give them some love as well. We inhale, reach our hands tall. Exhale, pull it down and behind us, cactus arms, so elbows stay wide and high. Pull our shoulder blades towards one another. We can keep our gaze straight in front of us, or maybe even take our gaze a little up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift tall. Exhale, bring our arms wide this time. Straight hands out from our shoulders. Turn our palms up. And our thumbs pull behind us. Open the chest. Exhale, we're pulling one arm across our body, finding a shoulder stretch. So it could be forearm across forearm, or maybe it's more comfortable, hand on our arm. Try not to pull directly on our elbow joint. We don't want any undue pressure on that joint. So check in with our shoulder. Instead of being up by our chin, we want it down towards our hip. Gently pull the arm closer to our chest. Inhale, open up wide. Exhale and switch. Could be hand on our forearm or forearm across our forearm here. Shoulder down away from our chin. Breathe into the stretch across the back of our shoulder. Exhale, release. We're going to find a tricep stretch. We inhale, reach our hands overhead. Exhale, we drop our right hand so that the fingertips are along our spine. And we can gently bring our left hand here and gently press. Or depending on our shoulders and our triceps, we can reach behind our head, wrap our hand around our right elbow, and gently pull the elbow back towards the center of the back of our head. Find what works for us. We can stay more upright, or we can exhale, get another little side body stretch. Gently press the ribs out to the side. Inhale, come straight. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, we switch. Drop the left fingertips along our spine. We might gently press here. Or we might wrap our right fingertips along our left elbow, open up here through our shoulder and tricep. We can hold nice and tall, or we can exhale, gently come over. Inhale, come to center, reach the hands tall. Exhale, hands meet at heart center, pressing palm to palm, thumbs in towards our sternum, the heart center here. Take a deep breath. We're going to find a little forearm stretch as we get ready for maybe a day of typing, or maybe we type a lot normally in our work. We need to stretch it out a little. We're taking a fisted right hand and tucking our center knuckle into the palm of our left hand. Fisted hand, we take our hand, the back of our hand towards the wall in front of us. So we're pulling gently, bringing our fingertips in towards our forearm. So from the side, our elbows might be more bent, or we might be able to extend it out longer, and we're feeling the stretch right along our forearm here. So press the knuckles into our left palm, pull the left or right fingertips towards our forearm, left hand pulling back in, right hand gently pushing out. Exhale, we pull it back in, pull the hands back to heart center and find the other side. Take a fisted right hand, tuck our center knuckle into the palm of our right hand, wrap our right fingertips around, gently pulling our left fingertips to our left forearm. So we extend the hand out long, getting that deep stretch through our forearm. Pulling it gently back in, hands at heart center. Then exhale, our hands drift down towards our legs. We're gonna find our 5-fingered breath or our mountain breath. It's a technique to help us with our breathing that we can do gently pretty much anywhere. We can keep it nice and low if you are in a waiting room or you need something to help calm yourself down with other people around. But for this morning, we're gonna demonstrate our 5-fingered breath, taking it up in front of our chest, our palm facing us. We can use our right hand or our left hand. And then we're taking the index finger of our opposite hand, starting at the base of our pinky. We're inhaling, draw up. Exhale as we come between our fingers. Inhale as we lift tall. Exhale between. And these deep, even breaths can help us to remember to really feel the breath in our belly and bringing it into our ribs and then our chest, really deepening the breath, even number of inhales and exhales, and even count for our inhales and exhales. So using this technique, we don't have to mentally count. We can sort of follow our fingertips, helping us to keep the rhythm. So we're going to practice our 5-fingered breaths here for 2 minutes. It's typically about 2 cycles of both hands. So we're going to start from one hand, and then once we reach the base of our thumb, we'll take it to the other side, finding both hands and finding our breath on both sides. We can keep our eyes open or closed, depends on what environment you're in today and what you feel comfortable with. So finding our seat again, once again, our feet are grounded into the floor. We feel comfortable through our hips and our spine, sitting up nice and tall, bringing our hands in front of us, choosing which side we want to start on. Starting from the base, we inhale, come up tall. Exhale, release. Continuing at your own pace with your own breath. Taking our time. Once we finish with both hands, maybe our hands come back to rest on our thighs or on the chair arms beside us. Focusing still on our breath, drawing it deep into our bellies. Exhaling out as much air as we can. And starting to expand our senses. What do we feel through our body, through our skin? Do we feel our pant legs or our chair arm underneath our palms? Do we feel the seat cushion underneath us? Or the floor, or our shoes underneath our feet? Do we feel a breeze from a fan nearby? And then checking in with what we hear. Do we hear cars driving by? Do we hear birds chirping? Do we hear mostly silence or my voice? And what do we smell? Does someone have breakfast cooking? Maybe we smell some coffee nearby. Maybe an air freshener. Maybe just a nice neutral scent wherever we're at. We start to flutter our eyes open if we have them closed. Or if we just softened our gaze, we start to focus around us. What do we see? Taking notice of the small things in our environment today. Maybe it's that rainbow we saw earlier. Maybe we see something fun out the window right now. Maybe we see the color of our walls around us. Acknowledging the little things that might pass by us normally. The feels, the smells, the sounds, the sights. We're inhaling, reaching our hands overhead, look towards our fingertips, open through our chest. Meet our palms at the top. We exhale, draw our hands in towards heart center, pressing palm to palm, fingertip to fingertip. Thank you very much for being here this morning. I hope you have a marvelous rest of your Monday. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to stick around and ask. I hope you were able to take something from this morning, something good for the rest of your week. And I hope to see you all next week. Bye, guys.